following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Actually, it'll probably get me in trouble.
So is that what this is all about?
Yes, of course. I date prominent, beautiful women just to wait until they commit crimes and then arrest them.
Beautiful, prominent things that describe me.
Well, I'll get down to tech department. I might have something for not Daniel to do. Bye, Matty Arms. See you, Lena. She's nice.
She's cute. Small and frail looking, though. She passed academy training?
She passed some of it. She's working on the physical stuff.
Well, that's really open-minded of them.
Her comms capacity is very helpful.
Apparently she just carried on a whole conversation without having to drop a call or something? That's impressive.
Just processing those calls at the same time, I guess.
That's really impressive. I understand some stuff like that can drive people mad if they're not, really good at it.
Didn't know it was that bad.
Multi-thread processors can leak. That's the whole thing about, thinking entirely separate things. When it comes time to thread those back in together, the things happening at the same time overlap can be a bit maddening for some people. Those soberwares sometimes have to be removed because the people who get them often can't handle the downside. I couldn't handle one, for example. I had to get mine removed.
Oh, you tried?
Yeah, they had this idea of fitting everyone on the team with multi-thread processors so we'd be able to carry on full conversations and think about multiple different tactical options at the same time. The problem is, when it came time for all those threads to compile back down into one thing, everything turned into a jumbled mess, and
the whole team fell
I
apart.
got confused, and so did a lot of other people on the team, and they all fell apart. Fortunately, we never tried it in a real game. It would have been humiliating.
Yeah.
So I can't handle that, apparently. If she can, that's something. You need to hang on to that.
She hasn't exactly not had any issues with it, I think.
Well, I'm sure that's private police stuff. Back downstairs, huh?
Back down to motorphone. Into the tech.
Okay.
Time to see Daniel and Co.
Hello. How can I help you today, officer? Hello. A guest?
Yes.
No on tag?
We didn't come through the front door. I've been scolded already.
All right, then. What do you need today?
Some kind of issue with the radio.
Let me have a look at that. Could you dismount the entire unit, please? And the belt part?
We were in Chinatown, and I tried to call for backup and got through to MaxTac on the same frequency I normally use.
That should not be possible.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be the type to use randomized.
You'll lift the back off and start ticking the tick.
Yes, actually, you've got damage on the board here. A little bit of a burnout by the looks of it. I can repair it. It'll take an hour.
This should be fine.
Come back in an hour. I'll fix it on up for you. Daniel will fix it on up for you. I don't have time, but...
Of course.
Yes. You'll put it in a little basket. Put a bit of rubber band with a bit of paper on it around that.
A little job tag.
Right thing. Go.
It's actually a hell of a coincidence that if we randomly got through to MaxTac right when there was a cyber psycho attack.
Not as uncommon as you think.
Yeah.
You said you were in Chinatown? No police frequencies or boosters operate there, so you couldn't have gotten through to us. MaxTac were probably covering, for some reason, a larger spectrum of bands. Maybe they were looking for someone.
That makes sense now. Well, thanks.
Very fortunate that MaxTac was around. You know, that takes me back to, it would have been my college year. Now, MaxTac was kind of a new idea. I had just come to Night City. This was before the Holocaust, of course. And MaxTac had been around for a little bit, but they were a new idea to me. I was from a small town in Arizona, you see. We didn't have a psycho squad or anything like that. So the first time I saw Max Tack come overhead at an intersection in that AV of theirs, all beat up looking thing, I thought, oh Lord, what's going on here? Then the big floodlights came on and the lights revved up and all the cars around me stopped, so I stopped too. Next thing I know, a guy just steps out of the thing and falls all the way to the ground, and just like he just stepped off the curb. Just marches up to a vehicle and just starts raking it with gunfire. That was the thing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought this must be one of those cybernetic psychos that I'd heard about at the time. My friends later, I told them about I saw a cyber psycho kill a man in a car, and they were like, "Whoa, that was Max Tack." What's Max Tack? Maximum Force Tactical Command.
Hell of a name.
What do they do? Oh, they're a police. Police? Oh, yes, in Night City, you absolutely need a shoot first, ask questions later heavy response unit when the public's really, really in danger, except no substitute. If you ever see them around, do not do anything, just do as they tell you and you'll be fine. Words to live by, John.
Of course. They got a lot of heavy firepower. We got to see it in action the other night.
In Cold Rocks, we have the Cold Rocks Action Patrol. Crap? Yes, they're our Psycho Squad. Extremely deadly and effective.
Max
And
Tack.
occasionally they take down a Cyber Psycho.
That bad.
They are very good at that particular job, but it's the collateral damage aspect that makes them not very popular with people. Of course, what was it? Bazoo Commander says, if you see the Cold Rocks Action Patrol coming and you don't clear the area, then it's really on you.
Oh, I see. So they operate kind of differently to Max Tack, and then
Well, I
Max
think
Tack
it's his
you stay-
insistence on using a chain bazooka,
a chain bazooka.
a rotary chain bazooka.
That ammo must be incredibly heavy.
Well, it does its job, I'll tell you that.
That's horrifying. I want one. No, I'm sure Castle will want one.
Yeah. Castle?
One of our heavy weapons team. Thought he might be around, but I guess he's on patrol.
So you're leaving the area, and there's Stellix and Chroma, or Levy and Pravi.
Ah,
They both snap around at the same time, and you see, Levy just get...
I was sort of like
And she starts scooting towards you both.
to forward a little bit, and then like in front of Lisa a little bit.
And she's like, John, my new toy, I want access.
No.
But mine. Pravi comes up behind her, just grabs her head and smashes it into the wall like a giant crater
Thanks.
in the wall. She gets carried away. Sorry for flying off the handle like that. I'll be good. Very well.
That poor wall.
I said sorry. Police officers?
Yeah.
Pravias Dorian, Lisa Steele. You are in my crime database. Speeding tickets count? Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, I didn't know Night City had a speed limit. It technically does. We don't enforce it.
And it doesn't exist in certain parts of the city at all.
Indeed. Levi asked Dorian. Oh, you... sisters? No. Married? No. What? What? The whole no face thing makes it really hard to read you. Yes, it does, doesn't it? You better remove her before Levi recovers her senses and goes after her again.
We'll head on upstairs. Good to see you again.
It is. Most officers find us uncomfortable to be around, John.
A lot of officers find me uncomfortable to be around. Not so much at this precinct.
He was like, does this mean I can play with him? No. Yes? No. Yes? All right.
If you remember our last conflict didn't come out so well for you.
I just wanted to have sex with you. And your friend at once. Yes, both together.
Come along, Lisa.
Bye-bye.
I don't really know how to explain that.
Are they droids?
I'm not sure. It's a lot of chrome, that's for sure, though.
Too much. Too much. I know that's a value judgment, but there's nothing human about those.
No. Besides their personalities, I guess.
Well, one of them seems like they're bordering on not having one, and the other one seems like they're a sex-obsessed cyber psycho, and I know that's a judgment, but it's really weird.
It's concerning, for sure.
I wonder if they're related to Gerhard Astrodorian.
Who?
Which might explain how they were able to afford all of that chrome.
Who's this?
Gerhard Astrodorian, CEO of Astrodorian Electronics.
Oh, an exec type, then.
He was a soldier.
Uh-huh.
His father started the company. He was a soldier. When his father died, he left the army and joined
Took it over.
the company. And so he has real-world experience. I think Astrodorian sponsors one of the teams in our league. I can't remember which one. Might be the Typewriters.
That's an interesting name.
The Chicago Typewriters?
That makes sense now. Well,
Yeah, that's why I like just calling them the Typewriters, because the nerds.
do their fans have to pay protection, or...
I think their season tickets are called like Protection or something like that. They have a lot of mafia references in their fan clubs.
That's good marketing.
It is. It is really cool. We've got our fan club are the Braves,
No, of course.
and
Native
the
Americans.
club meetings are like what's on the drums, or bulletin alerts are called smoke signals, that sort of thing.
Interesting.
Of course, our mascot is Chief Break Everything.
Yes.
He's the best.
Sounds like it. Sounds like we could use him on the force.
Oh, he really does. It's like at the start of every game, he comes out and he does the routine. It usually ends up with him breaking everything. So that's really cool. The fans get a kick out of it.
I'm sure.
There's usually like when we do our home games, we've got the halftime spot where like a volunteer picked from the audience will like come out and Chief Break Everything can't break them.
Oh, interesting.
It's it's a bit of a have, but
So what the Ravens have, just like a bird, or...
there's I think they'll be looking for a new mascot since their last mascot, the Night City Ravens Crow, went to jail, I believe. It turns out he was a nighttime vigilante.
Huh. Well,
Yeah.
I suppose he could have been worse.
I mean, a lot of people still think he did good, but he was killing people for things that did not hold the death penalty. So I'm surprised you don't know about that. It was in the papers.
Might have been while I was off duty. Well, removed from duty.
Hmm.
Back to officer, huh?
Back to. You got a demotion, didn't you?
Used to be senior officer.
After the Coronado Butcher thing.
Yeah.
Hey, people say things about you. You've got to rise above it and just, with your actions and deeds, prove them wrong. I've been tarred with a lot of brushes.
Sure.
I know it's not exactly comparable. I'm not saying it is.
Maybe it is.
Kind of isn't.
I'm sure the media's after you a lot more than they are me.
They remind me. Frankly, I think I'm just hanging out with you today more, not to stop you from doing something bad, but just so I don't have to deal with my problems.
Well, I'm glad I could be helpful.
Hmm.
Now I feel bad for not just bringing you along on the job.
No, let's be honest here. I've got to deal with my problems at some point. But it is not this day.
Well, if you need somewhere to hang out, my place is empty.
It's a little soon for that, isn't it? I feel like I'm being a bit of a Jezebel by staying over at your place last time.
I slept on the couch.
So did I.
Oh.
What would Mother say?
Who knows?
Where are we going?
I guess back upstairs, see if Babbitt's around.
Good thing I like a workout.
We have a lot of stairs. Although, I wouldn't want to use the elevator too much anyway. Just, if something happens to the precinct, the elevator's the last place you want to be. Sorry, some of the best cops in the city are, well, some of the cops in the city
Come
are
round the
precinct.
corner and bump into Uray's cleavage.
Oh,
She's wearing some kind of skimpy thing.
sorry, Uri. Didn't see you there.
Ah. Hey,
Oh, Officer Barrows, very gracious to meet you in such a circumstances. Apologize for happy accident.
Of course.
Ah, and is this your lovely wife?
No.
Oh, apologies.
It's Lisa Steele.
Ah, well, very good. Lisa Steele? Ah, very honored, most gracious. Very kind, very famous Lisa Steele, yes.
It's Uri, a foreign officer.
yeah, I read about you in the papers. You're Japan's top cop, I believe. And here you are over here.
Ah, humbled and honored that you remember such low personage as myself. We try best lucky utmost to bring wise learning back to honorable and humble Japan of a metropolitan police force near that.
Barrows might have just been sort of like, hey, what's over there? And tried to stifle a giggle.
Well, of course.
Oh, that is right. You are John Barrow's optimal pick, garden dating enforcement. He not want to go, but enjoy afterwards. So very much pleasing.
I'm glad that everyone knows all the details.
All the details.
You haven't been snooping again, have you? With all that tech you've got, it would be impossible to sniff you out, I'm sure. Except by chance.
All things are down to fortune and ill fortune. But still, must go. Very little time before next patrol.
Told you.
Huh. Well, Netrunner then, I guess.
Everyone else is probably out on patrol.
Why does a Netrunner go on patrol?
Well, she doesn't, really. I can't really go into it.
I want to keep drinking, but I need to pee.
Fair.
Okay, right, so you're going to be, did you want to get your radio back before you went out on this little,
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
fine serving job, or,
Just,
you want to just use,
I could just
the
use.
best?
Yeah, actually, instead of waiting, we'll get it over with. We'll go out without waiting for my radio. Plus, if I need to, I can always use the agent.
Right. Wow. So you grab Babette.
Yep.
Get down to the motor pool. Babette sits on your knee and leaves his car. I mean, the least I could do is drag you out there. And hang around in case you get into big trouble.
And we might need an evac.
You're very nice car here.
It's a little awkward, isn't it?
We could put you
Jump
in.
barrels is not exactly the most comfortable thing I would be sitting on, and I feel that I am being in his way too much.
It's fine. As long as we don't get into a gunfight, it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I mean, let's hope we don't get into a gunfight. My windscreen isn't bulletproof.
Ah, right.
And neither is my car.
That bomb would have done a real number then.
Bomb?
Oh, we got rid of it, don't worry. Just another one of my exciting adventures.
Well, here you are on the fringes of Watson near the water. On the west side. West Side. Just down from, I believe there's docks up in Watson, just down from there.
Yeah, I think it's a big waterfront area. Ships and
Container port.
Obviously no big, giant, exciting ship like the one in the...
New.
Oh,
Maybe it gets out first.
Of course. Then I'll get out.
I'll be right here.
Keep an eye out in case something happens. A lot of lunatics with grenades these days.
Expensive lunaticking hobby.
Yeah, they've thrown more than I have.
Whatever.
Almost.
Jeez.
And you never really feel safe without a grenade on hand.
Using grenades is a really big commitment to making sure you're going to get more out of the job than you just spent on it.
Yeah. 2 sleep grenades last time. They're expensive.
Lisa gapes at you with surprise.
What?
Yeah,
There's a 580s.
at least.
I can't afford them. Not to just throw away willy-nilly.
Kid threw one as well, actually, back in the precinct attack. Saved my life.
Well, then, are you worth more than 580s?
Well, I'd like to think I have been.
I think you are. Get the room.
I have one.
Then lose some weight.
Oh. Right,
I'm sorry, I'm just throwing back what you do whenever Vincent and I get cute.
You guys are cute.
Just the cutest little face. I wish I knew what color his eyes were, but he's always wearing these glasses
I'm not sure I've ever seen him take them off.
because he's trying to look so cool. And it does not work.
Not at all, huh?
She makes the little bit gesture.
Right, we'll go serve this notice and come right back.
Okay.
We'll start walking away. Right, let's see where we're headed.
You are heading to the old harbour master's shack.
Someone stealing from a harbour master. Some stealing power from probably a sea nomad.
I can think of dumber things to do.
Definitely some, but not heaps.
Hey, Adam Smasher! You look stupid!
There's one. That'd be pretty high up on
You look really gay!
You look like a girl.
You look like a fuckable cut of meat!
Something only Roger would having the balls to say.
You head to the harbour master's office and knock on the door. Door opens up. Oh, hello.
Oh,
Ooh.
good afternoon.
Let me guess. You want the full works.
No, we're here about a report of someone siphoning power.
Oh, good. Look, lovey, I'll tell you what I told the guy, a very handsome boy down at the police precinct who wanted me so hard I could tell.
I'm sure.
I'd been paying too much on my power bill, and I worked out why. Because I took a week off, headed away for a bit of R&R. This old harbour master's shack isn't exactly the nicest place to work my salon out of. And also, no one wants a salon up here, really, so I needed a bit of a breather. And I got away, and I came back, and I found that there were power charges for that week, but I'd shut it all off. Oh, and I was like, ooh, cheeky! Someone's been using my power!
Interesting.
Checked up on my security, no one's broken in. So I went down to the council. I was like, what's going on here? And they said, well, maybe someone's running a line out of your power box. And I had a wee look and I couldn't see anything. And they said, well, tell it to the police then. So I did. And here you are, all big and handsome and four-armed.
Well, we'll have a look into it. If the council didn't think there was any additional lines connecting this part of the grid to another one, then it must be someone set up another link.
Maybe it's something in the basement. I can't get down there. The door's all security typed.
Could be. If there's some old tech down there still running, maybe it's malfunctioning and causing a search.
Oh, no, I don't like that at all.
Well, we'll find out. Wouldn't do to worry until we confirm.
Oh, thank you, big strong officer. I suppose you want me to let you down there?
If you could.
Oh, come on in. Walk this way.
Follow.
Oh, I was hoping you'd bring a big strapping partner. I mean, you might need two people if there's naughty people involved.
Oh, well, got a partner.
Oh! I'm sorry, I didn't see you initially, and I don't know how. Oh, you're lovely. Just look at you, like a little doll, all perfect. Honestly, I don't think there's anything I could do to you. Maybe fix your hair up a bit. Yeah, it is how I've been sleeping lately. It is how to keep it in good condition. Oh, that's terrible. Always rinse and condition twice and only wash it every 3 days. If you do it more, it destroys all the natural oils in your hair. Worst thing you can do, washing every day. Really? Yes.
Good to know. Is that true for mustaches as well?
Mustaches you probably shouldn't wash too often at all. They tend to take care of themselves, boy. Wash them too much, they'll get tired and stringy.
Wouldn't want that.
What I'd recommend is beard oil.
I have to pick some more up.
Oh, well, we sell some, but I don't think you'll like the flavours. Now, we've got Fizzbitch, Banana, and Gun.
Gun doesn't sound too bad.
It smells a bit like gun oil.
I think I might like that.
Well, step over to my shelf then. Oh, look, 1080s.
Yeah, I'll buy some.
Oh, wonderful. I've made some money. Here you go, officer.
Thank you. I'll add that later, but I will subtract.
We have a bottle, one of those little bottles of beard oil of the scent
Gun! The manliest scent. Buying beard oil, I got bugger all it is. Got my priorities straight.
Hey, you could have kept that 400 that's in there by mistake.
Yeah.
You could have done that. I would not have. When you said those extras looked, I'm like, fuck it, he can have them. I don't care.
I already have more LP than Straker. I'll try and keep it as even as possible.
Actually, he was ahead of you before tonight.
Oh, okay.
Because you fell asleep.
Oh, yeah.
And he performed brilliant shit.
True.
Got more. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's have a look around.
Down a set of stairs, there's a door, and it has a big old-style heavy electronic lock.
Old. I suppose that makes sense. How long have you had the building?
Oh, I've only been in this place a few months.
Well, short term then.
Yes, they don't use it anymore. The new Harbour Master's office is going to be up there when they refurbish the ports. Of course, they'll have to clear out all the gang members and the fighting pit.
Might be an idea to clear out of here when they
and all
do
those
that.
big animals, strapping lads with their thews like oak.
I'm sure it'll get violent.
Oh, I hope not. I don't like violence. I moved to Night City to get away from it.
Right. I'd hate to know where you came from.
Poughkeepsie.
Ah, yes. This place I have heard of.
I know, but they're pretty intolerant of the differently sexual over down there. Ooh, the number of times I'd wake up with a noose around my neck and a bunch of very, very apologetic-looking people who were very, very sorry that they had moved a bit too slow. So I thought I'd better leave for somewhere safer. Night City.
We are pretty accepting here.
You've got other problems too. Shouldn't be putting up with degenerates like me. First it starts off as please let me just have sex with who I want, then I'll want marriage, next thing it'll be transitioning your children.
Maybe stop after marriage.
I know. My little joke, some members of the community do go far too far. Far too far. I always said there's a difference. I always said to old Terence, there's a bit difference from being left alone and being demanding that everyone else should just buckle in and give you everything you've ever wanted. It's not reasonable.
So you say you can't get past this door?
Oh, I tried fiddling with it, and it beeped most alarmingly. I tried jamming a thing in it and shorting it out, and then it warned me about the security measures, and I thought, oh, better leave it alone. I've been storing stuff in the attic. Well, the second story, but it's not much of a second story.
Of course.
Tell you what, even if I could get access to the basement, that would be worth it. Of course, if there's something really, really wrong, I'll have to find somewhere else. I'm not going to find anywhere else with the rent as good as this place.
Depending on what we find down there, maybe we can clear it out for you.
Well, I'll leave you alone to it. I've got to go upstairs in case I get another customer. Oh, I hope those big animal boys come back for more moustache oil. Although I am out of primal monkey.
That doesn't sound pleasant.
Oh, they rave about it. Ook, ook, they say.
So I'll let them wander back off up to the salon.
I think he might be gay.
Maybe. Maybe slight undertones. Well, this is an impressive door.